Hey there, I'm Muse with Medicine of the Feminine, and today I wanted to talk with you all about the vessel of destiny and how our life path is literally encoded into our physiology in a way that allows us to access information and resources at any time. Okay, so using concepts from Chinese medicine, I think are some of the most eloquent and articulate ways of understanding this dynamic of the vessel of destiny, also known as the Changmai. The Changmai is the first channel to be created in our system when we're in utero. In Chinese medicine, we look at the different channel systems of the body as conduits for our life force. And you can think of the word channel like a riverbank through which something flows. A lot of people refer to the meridians in Chinese medicine, and that name lends itself to us imagining more lines just drawn on a 2D map. So I like using the word channel, but vessel is even more interesting to me because it signifies that these are reservoirs and capacities for holding and carrying different forces. So the Changmai, the vessel of destiny, or the vessel of our blueprint, forms in us when we are in our mother in utero. And this channel runs through our deep center line of our physical body. We can say that it runs through the center of the brain, through the deep throat, through the center of the chest, through the heart, down through the visceral organs in women, through the uterus, and then down through the perineum like a plumb line. The energetic of this channel extends beyond the physical body down into the ground. And this channel is responsible for what's referred to in Chinese medicine as heart-kidney communication. Heart-kidney communication is our capacity to connect to our life path, a deep knowing of who we are and what we're here for, and our ability to carry out the work necessary to live that life path. Also, from the ancient Chinese texts, it said that each person's destiny is seated in the organ of the heart at conception, a vision of what our work is in this lifetime. And the kidney channel system governs the pelvis and the reproductive organs. And the kidney organ system houses our will, our capacity to do and carry forward. So when we breathe, if we allow our breath to move through its original pathway, moving our tissues all the way down our spinal cord, moving not only our respiratory diaphragm, but our abdominal and pelvic diaphragm as well, we can tap into this bridge that the breath provides to connect the heart with the root. I like to call the kidney energetic and all of its governance in the pelvis and the uterus and ovaries as the root, just to simplify. So think about the last time you held a baby, or if you haven't in a while, go ahead and find a baby to hold. Most of us, when we're born, naturally have a freedom in our breath and our body that eventually over time with emotional pain and suffering gets closed off until eventually people are just breathing to about right here. But in very small children and babies, if you hold them, you can feel their breath, the energy of their breath moving all the way down into their lower body. And this is what we can practice every day to synchronize our heart, our life path with our will, our ability to carry that path forward. And by the simple exercise of relaxing the body and opening ourselves to remember this original breath pathway, we can come more and more in contact with what that destiny is, with what our life work is, and the best way to carry it forward. There's a key in our physical body bodies, in our organ resonances that inform one another, that are independent of our mind, and then can also work in concert with our mind, which is very helpful. So I'd like to walk you through a breathing exercise that I do almost every day, and I help women discover every day that I work in my practice doing body work. So you can over your chest, over your heart, and your other hand can be over your low belly, over your pelvis. And just find a comfortable seat, letting your knees be a little wide. And as you breathe, you can invite your breath to move into the space beneath both of your hands. And it's nice to practice sitting up, but this is especially good to practice laying down. And as you practice this, you're simply letting your hands be a biofeedback catalyst for your body to remember that your breath can move into both of these palaces, the palace of your deep consciousness, your deep emotional body, and the consciousness of your deep intuitive knowing and your relationship with yourself, seated in your pelvis. When we do this breath practice, especially laying down, especially right before sleep and right after waking up, we have a beautiful way of access into recoding our nervous system to continue to orient us towards a kind of breath that moves through our whole body as our new baseline. So sometimes it can feel hard to breathe all the way down. And when you try this, especially laying down, if you feel like you can't get your breath deep, you can try some big exhales, like breathing in and really kind of forcefully sighing, but not pushing your breath out. Just that usually frees the chi in the chest and the breath to allow our inhale to filter down a little more deeply. You can also place your hand literally cupping over your genitals, over your vulva for women, over your perineum, and asking your breath to come down and gently expand into your touch. Whatever you experience when you're trying this is fine. Just let yourself have this time to practice inviting your breath over and over again, letting it be how it is, but just giving your body an opportunity to remember what it's capable of. And eventually, I promise, you will find a ninja, Jedi life force deep within you that feels like a limitless fountain of resources that you can return to anytime that you're having difficulty. So now that I have worked with this for years, I use it as a tool when I'm having a hard time. Now, when I'm struggling, having some emotional upset or worry, frustration, anger, feeling triggered, I'll notice that my breath stops up here again. And now that I've practiced this a lot, I can use this exercise as a way to anchor my breath, bring myself back into contact with all of my resources, not just my triggered set of resources, which usually don't get me very far. So I encourage you to try this and let me know how it goes. Let yourself experience how it is. And I want to say another note about this kind of breathing is an invitation to free the breath. People who have practiced a lot of yoga, when I work with them on the table, I find they actually have the hardest time in general of everyone I work with of actually having their breath be fully free, where their breath can reach all the way bottom and just rolls right out of their body easily, that there's a true surrender in their tissues as their breath comes all the way down and all the way up. Because I think in yoga, we're practicing a very controlled breathing, which is very helpful. It's an amazing way to work with our energy to practice yogic breathing. And this is something different. So if you've practiced a lot of yoga, I encourage you to soften your throat, let go of the ujjayi breath sound, let your exhales be more like sighs, like they have a life of their own, and continue inviting your breath to root further and further down. Our breath is the bridge between our heart that carries that seed of instruction for our life curriculum and our will housed in our root, our great capacity for creating and doing and bringing forward what it is we are each here for. Thanks so much for listening. I'd love to hear from you, and I look forward to next time. Take care.